in 3, 2, 1. Go, 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 go. Come on, baby, come on! Yes! 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 Almost to the target! Come on! Yes! Yes! Wow!
That's pretty stable.
That's not bad! We just had 32 perfect ignitions and we got a perfect launch.
Okay, our rockets didn't have quite enough force to really drive our Panjandrum all the way to our seawall with devastating momentum. Plus, our aim was a little off, and we only managed to nick our seawall. Sure, we could keep adjusting for the perfect balance of power and thrust forever, just like they attempted and failed to do in World War II. But my gut tells me that we need a better propulsion system.
So where do we go from here? Well, I have this friend who I think might really enjoy the challenge of re-engineering this Panjandrum and its motivation to see if we can improve upon it. This is Adam Stelzner, a brilliant engineer and one of my favorite people on the planet.
Hey, man, good to see you.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for coming on down to help with this.
Yeah, I had a little extra time to break away from Mars.
Oh yeah, and he also happens to be the lead engineer on NASA's next mission to Mars.
My day job, I work for a place called the Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California. We build spacecraft to orbit the Earth and to go out into the planets.
You ready to see
Yeah, I
this?
want to see this thing.
Right.
So it's friction with the ground that's making the wheel move forward, and the rocket is providing a torque to the device. When I saw the Panjandrum for the first time, I told Adam, I am in.
Adam is the best kind of engineer. He's not just an out-of-the-box thinker, he's an outside the building the box happens to be in kind of thinker.
3, 2, 1.
Adam was
fire.
the mission commander for the Curiosity rover landing on Mars.
Nuclear-powered, 2,000 pounds, size of a car. It was the biggest rover that had ever been put on Mars or anywhere. And to do that, we needed to invent a new way of landing. We came up with the sky crane maneuver, which involved the rover having a propulsion system like a jet backpack, and then about 100 feet above the surface of Mars, the jetpack lowered the rover and the two descended until the surface of Mars took up the weight of the rover. Like Adam, I think the Panjandrum is a good concept.
Oh, yeah, there's a reason the kid. Yes!
But it immediately opened up, at least in my mind, several opportunities for improvement. Rockets never fire the exact way you want them to fire. They fire a little bit much, a little bit less. And so the thing's going to be moved around by the rockets going on and off. It's not stabilized as much as it could be. So I think we've got a trick that we're going to try.
Eliminate the rockets first and foremost.
We're going to try and do this with all the angular momentum in a flywheel.
Wow, you can store a huge amount of energy that way.
It's also fantastically dangerous, just like rockets.
Instead of using rockets, we're going to use centrifugal force to power our Panjandrum. So we're going to use the same wheels as the original. We're going to move them closer together. Their axle is going to be a truck axle, onto either side of which will be bolted, instead of tires, big steel flywheels.
A flywheel is basically a large rotating disc that resists changes in its rotational speed. In other words, once you spin it up, it doesn't want to slow down. Tapping into that flywheel's energy by grabbing onto it with a brake will transfer that rotational energy from our flywheel to our inner wheels, propelling our Panjandrum forward.
Yeah.
And then we will size these flywheels such that this equation is satisfied, and we'll make sure that we spin this bad boy up to the necessary speeds.
If Adam Stelzner's equations are correct, our flywheels will have to be spun up to 1,000 RPM to launch and propel the Panjandrum forward at an initial speed of 40 miles an hour. Tomorrow's mission is to gather our parts and start building our Neo-Panjandrum. We're We're going to mount our Panjandrum wheels on this custom truck axle.
Yep. 60 to 90. We're using a dial gauge, a ruler sensitive to below 1/1000th of an inch, to just make sure that this thing is as concentric as possible. That means it's spinning round without any high or low spots. Give it a whack there. This is a big machine we're building with many parts that are spinning at different rates. And if you are out of round, you are adding vibration into the system, which adds potential failures. Oh, it's actually worse.
It did get worse.
I'm just gonna give it a whack on the high. I don't know why, but God, that's a satisfying sound.
That is a good sound.
It's significantly better.
All right.
Yeah, we're at about,
We're 50 or below, huh?
yeah, we're at just about 50. Okay, cool. Right at this very moment, our axle is spinning only about 50 thousandths out of true. That is about 11 sheets of paper. I love centering stuff. I love tramming my mill, if you know what I mean.
Well, I didn't know it was that kind of a show.
The flywheel's here. Check it out.
Holy macaroni. Seeing those flywheels for the first time, it's a little terrifying. That is big.
That's our power.
This thing is big. It's one thing when it's numbers on a whiteboard or a piece of paper. It's another thing to see it in the flesh. Good. Yes! There we go.
We've mounted our twin 5-foot flywheels on a perfectly balanced custom axle. Each flywheel weighs 450 pounds, so it's going to take a fair amount of horsepower to get them up to speed. To do that, we've assembled a 40 horsepower, 72-volt motor and battery package.
Oh!
Wow.
That's close to 7,000 RPM. Yeah.
The man running our motor is Marcos Ramirez, artist, fabricator, and electric vehicle mechanic. He's going to spin our flywheel up to 1,000 RPM, at which time I'll uncouple the motor to allow them to spin freely. Then we'll see if our flywheels and axle hold together under these tremendous forces.
This spin test we're about to do is pretty much the most dangerous thing we're doing in this whole episode. We are spinning this up as fast as we can, hopefully past 1,000 RPM, or about 17 revolutions per second.
That's nearly 1,000 pounds of angry steel rotating at a stupidly high rate of speed.
If this thing escaped, it's going right through that door, right through the fence, right into the street. That's why we parked some very heavy vehicles on the other side of the store.
1, 2, 3, up. Hopefully it hangs together and doesn't rip itself apart.
The various other failure modes are sounds that are horrifying, like a, something like that. That kind of vibration could cause our entire Panjandrum to jump off of its launch platform.
At the first sign of trouble, I will cut this test short.
And I'm ready to throttle when you are.
Gentle, ease it up. About 1 RPS now, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1, somewhere around here.
So let's keep on going.
Yes. I'm hearing a little bearing.
Now I'm feeling vibration in this.
I think it's time to pull the plug.
All right, here we go.
Everybody clear, come this way.
This side of the building. There she goes.
The whole thing shifted because I think as we pulled it off, we applied a torque to it. You can see the vibration of the axle. Can you see the vibration of the axle?
Yep.
The up and down motion?
So that may be the
that the
coupler.
coupler
That
and
may
not
be the
the axle?
coupler. Yeah.
This is still dangerous. Don't get comfortable.
The power in these flywheels scares the pants off me. We only reached about 350 RPM, roughly a third of our target speed. This could have been a runaway train. Remember how I said once you spin it up, it doesn't want to stop? watch.
I'm pushing against this with all my might.
You could see how much effort it took to slow that down. That gives you a sense of the power.
There are a lot of potential problems that have come to light because of this test, which is the whole reason to do a test. One of them is that we started to see vibration at about a third of the speed we were hoping to get, which means we might have to deal with a lower top speed.
All right. For the people here, for this area, too dangerous to take this machine past where we did tonight, here. So we're gonna be deciding out at the site how fast is just fast enough.
Turning.
It's time to assemble the basic structure of our Panjandrum without the flywheels. Because of their sheer weight, those will have to be assembled on site.
Oh, here you go?
Yeah.
10-foot Panjandrum wheels welded to the outer casing of the axle.
Oh, yeah.
And the braking system. Conventional automobile brakes that will transfer the flywheel's energy to our Panjandrum wheels, propelling it forward.
What have we done? What the? It's beautiful.
Isn't it delightful?
It is.
I'm seriously having this lovely moment of thinking about those engineers on the beach in Britain in the 40s.
Yes.
Trying to get this thing to work. And I'm thinking that if they could see us doing this, they'd have a good laugh.
Oh, I think so, totally.
I think we're done for now. I think all we got to do is head out to the location.
All right, man. All right.
This is not far off of the kind of pitch you'd find on a beach.
You're right. You're right. It got a good upslope. Well, it's
I mean-
a good challenge.
Just as we did with our rocket-propelled Panjandrum, we've set up our mock World War II battlefield. But after days of torrential rain, our real enemy is mud.
The conditions are crazy, very muddy, very soft.
I think we might get stuck. We're gonna get stuck. I can feel it.
All right.
That's it.
90 degrees. Come on, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Whoa! This is absolutely what it was like in World War II. Yeah, that's it. That's our aim.
Finally, our Neo Panjandrum is in place. But it's not a fully functioning weapon of mass destruction without its flywheels. Heavy metal twins weighing nearly 1,000 pounds.
Great.
No!
Motor coupling attached. A little test spin of our flywheels. We're almost set. Just one more thing.
We weren't going to do this without an explosion. I'm adding in our explosion right now. 8 liters of gasoline wrapped in det cord. Let's give ourselves a good finale. Our Neo Panjandrum is ready for its maiden and perhaps final voyage. We'll use this electric car motor right here to spin these up, like this. When we all feel slightly uncomfortable, we put the brakes on the thing. They're going to transfer the energy from these discs to the forward momentum of the Panjandrum. Look, ooh, this. How hard it was for me to stop that, that's the kind of energy we're applying to this guy. And we expect it to start rolling up this hill at maybe 40 miles an hour, and once it goes through the target, we get to blow it up. Dude! I love it. Let's go fire this thing off.
Yeah, let's do it. As with my professional life, really all I see are the failure modes. And there are so many of those. We've got imbalance in the flywheels. They could literally shake themselves so much. We rip the axles apart. We could rip free of our moorings before we're ready to. We could literally break the wheel structure by bouncing and rolling.
I really hope this works. I love the design of the Panjandrum. Frankly, this thing could do almost anything, and I will be happy. The only thing it can't do is not leave this deck.
The firing system has been armed. You have control.
All right, so here we go. Marcos, you're on throttle.
I am.
John Marcoux, you're on motor
Yes, sir.
disengagement. Adam Stelzner, you are on the brakes. You're making this thing go.
Okay.
All right, I'm pulling the final quick release and detonating it when it reaches our target. When, not if, it reaches our target.
Okay, here we go.
Our target speed for launch is 1,000 revolutions per minute.
300 RPM. Keep going. Keep going. Looks good.
This is about as fast as we got in our test back in the shop.
I mean, I'm not seeing a lot of shake.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of shake either.
I'm not seeing a lot of shake at all. This is apparently going swimmingly.
400 RPM.
400 RPM! If we can get to 1,000, that's when we launch.
Okay, I'm seeing oscillations.
Oh, yep.
We're starting to oscillate. 580. Keep going. 700 RPM.
There it is, there's a shake.
Almost 800 RPM. You can hear things go.
Okay, I think we should go.
I think we should go.
Okay, John Marcoux, let's disengage the motor. Coming up.
There it is.
Chuck is
Okay.
off. Motor's off.
Motors away. Motors away.
Motors away. It's moving.
There it goes.
Okay, follow me, follow me. It's rolling, it's rolling. Come on, baby.
Okay, stand back, stand back, stand back.
Watch out. No, 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 no.
No,
Are you
Panjandrum,
kidding
no. What did you say the worst thing that could happen was?
Why? Why you no move forward?
Who figured this thing out anyway? Whose idea was this?
This is pure science. We were testing a hypothesis about locomotion.
I know, but the hypothesis is backed by mathematics, which should have driven that thing
Really
murder.
fast. Even at 500 RPM, it should have hopped up this hill.
At 500 RPM, it should have gotten up to 20 miles an hour.
Yeah. So what happened?
Oh, I don't really know. I do not have an answer. So I'm gonna go back over my equations 3 or 4 times and see what the hell I did. We need to be clear to approach and check in on the drive system.
On closer examination, Adam Stelzner is pretty certain he's identified the culprit responsible for our failure.
So what I think went down is our braking system wasn't strong enough to instantaneously transfer that energy, and so it diminished the energy of the wheels before it could really effectively transfer it to the big wheel.
We simply didn't brake hard enough, fast enough. So underpowered brakes coupled with lower RPMs than we'd hoped for resulted in a failure to launch.
My regular job is to figure things out, invest billions of dollars, and have them work every time.
Copy.
So this is an unusual experience for me.
Look, I totally understand that that is your business model. In my business model, when things don't go right, we have a different kind of ritual than you do. Detonating Neo-Panjandrum in 3, 2, 1!
Oh my God.
Isn't that a nice way to finish out a build?
That was beautiful. Oh, that's great.
Oh, almost makes you cry.
It does. I feel like crying.
Bring it in. Give us some sugar.
Crew bug.
That's the smell of
Not victory, but at least
completion.
it's a smell of completion. It feels like our experience is at least authentic, if anticlimactic.
Yes. As the sun sets on our day and our Panjandrum, it's kind of a fitting end that it's sitting there smoldering 15 feet from the ramp on which it started.
So the World War II Panjandrum was famously a bust, and this week we have expended a huge amount of time and energy continuing in that grand tradition. Our Panjandrum was just as ineffective as the original, even though it had a brand new design. But I am not sad. I always love the experience of walking through a path already trodden by engineers from the past, and it gives me a view of the world through their eyes, and that widens my understanding of the world, whether things work at the end or whether they don't. And that's the whole purpose of this journey. That's what happens when you test stuff. Sometimes it ends like that.